I drew the entire thumbnail for this video using Rust. And it's actually working. Oh my god. And here's all the mistakes I made along the way. There were a lot. The crate I used is called Turtle, with the idea being that you're guiding this little turtle around with a pin tied to its tail. The turtle repo is owned by Sunjay Varma, and it looks like it's still a work in progress, but it functions well, and I think Sunjay has given us a great tool for learning the basics of Rust. With Turtle, you can make just about any 2D drawing by moving your pin up, down, or forward, and deciding where to fill things in with color. After all, drawings are just curves and lines, and curves are basically a bunch of smaller lines drawn at slightly different angles. Turtle might seem like it was made for children, and that's because it kind of was, which is probably good because that's about my skill level right now. The inspiration for Turtle actually goes all the way back to 1967 with the educational programming language Logo. This is why you might have seen instances of Turtle in other languages, like Python, which this crate was heavily inspired by. But in all seriousness, Turtle isn't just for kids. You can decide to draw something simple or something more complex. Remember, we're using Rust, so it's easy to make something simple more complicated in the simplest way possible. Once I delved into Turtle, I realized that since you have to dictate every single motion, there can actually be a lot of math involved. Now, this can range from simple geometry to trig to more sophisticated things like Bezier curves. Of course, you don't have to be a math genius to play around with Turtle, which is good because I didn't actually understand the Bezier curves. But for the 7 of you out there that are about to take a trig class and want to learn Rust, Turtle's perfect. It did take me way too long to realize that the version of Turtle that's on GitHub works much better than the RC.3 version I was using from Crates.io. My images window would keep crashing, which you can probably guess is super frustrating. And I almost gave up when I couldn't get the Rust logo to display properly. Luckily, the newer version fixed all these issues and even added access to the super cool concurrent multi-turtle feature. I had never done recursion in Rust before, so I decided to learn how to make fractals next. This is what let me go from turtle to turtles to entirely too many turtles. But identical turtles are kind of boring, so I played around a bit with random numbers to add facial expressions. One problem with using multiple recursive turtles is that it can really slow down the drawing, even when the pin speed is set to instant mode. The reason for this can be explained by someone else, because I never actually figured it out. What initially got me interested in Turtle was seeing a multi-turtle tweet from the Rust Turtle Twitter. So I'm really glad I was able to get my one turtle reunited with all its buddies. Learning Rust by getting a turtle to draw a bunch of other turtles was a lot of fun, and there's a ton of other great examples on the GitHub. It makes me really excited for the day where I'm skilled enough to give back to the community by fixing some of the bugs I run into.